I have handouts for all of you actually. One of them is for constitutional hydrotherapy and one of them is for wet sock treatment, which you can take at the end. Those are powerful, amazing, old naturopathic modalities that you could use anytime. You're gonna have a handout there. The wet socks are what they do. You just pretty much on, you know that treatment on warm feet. You put cold socks, cold wrung up socks, and you put then dry socks over. And overnight, what the body will do will dry the socks, and it will pull. As it's drying the socks, it's moving the immune system, it's moving the lymph. It will draw the infection down into the urine and the feces. It really is amazing, and you sleep better. It's so easy. I've been doing it the last few days just because, you know, people sick in the office, and oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. So that's a really easy one to do, even for kids. You know, you have to do it when they're almost sleeping, so they don't like the cold much. But the constitutional hydrotherapy is similar, but it's bigger application. Hot and cold on the chest, hot and cold on the back. Again, you're going to have a handout. Amazing for the immune system, whether you're acutely ill, whether you have fever, or for chronic conditions. So it's a good one to remember. You'll have a handout. It's on my website, drkatka.com, in case you need it. The part that I didn't talk about and I want to go back to with the hydrotherapy is the fever. So if there is fever, let it be. And if it's getting higher, what you want to do is two things. You can do either the hydrotherapy. If it's really high, if it's like up to the 102.5, you just want to do cold sheet, especially for kids, but even for yourself, you do cold sheets over and over and over. You do cold sheet and then dry sheet and blankets over. The body will warm up the sheet and it will cool down the temperature. That's the most powerful one. If you're by yourself, you don't want to do it, tepid bath or cool shower. Just cool the body from the outside. For the chills, by the way, if you cannot warm up, you drink hot fluids. Really helps warm it up from the inside. And then, I don't have it there, but for children and adults, for high fever, homeopathic belladonna is an amazing remedy for fever, for anyone. Oops, belladonna. B-E-L-L-A-D-O-N-A. Get like a 200C. And you can take that every 15 minutes, every hour. It brings the fever down amazingly. It's the best one for kids, and it doesn't shut down the immune system. It actually helps it to do the work. Okay, so that's the fever. Yeah, don't look it up online, because online it's going to tell you about the herb. It's going to tell you the herb, the powerful belladonna herb, which is poisonous if you eat it. This is a homeopathic medicine, so it's completely doesn't have the herb in it. It has just like the memory of the herb that is completely different. So health food store, anyone in a health food store, doctor's offices, we have a just, you know.
It's a little vial.
It's a little, it looks like this.
Oh.
Just gonna say belladonna.
A little pellet. But it's liquid, or is it a capsule?
It's pellets.
Pellet.
Mm-hmm. I'll move into enough about flu. None of you will get the flu shot. Yay. And hopefully if you have somebody who is non-believer, just have them look at that website and read for themselves. Because it's hard to be against that pressure of you need it, you need it, you need it. It's a lot of pressure we need to unplug from. So I'll move into the other aspects of what can happen with the immune system. So one of them is allergies, as you probably, many of you know about. And then one of them is the inflammation and then the autoimmunity. So what happens there? So allergies. Again, it's the body's way of trying to protect us by getting rid of the triggers. So here's what happens. We always think, you know, for the most part, it's either skin allergies or it's upper respiratory. So we have the sneezing, we have the itchy eyes, runny eyes, all that. So we're thinking, okay, that's the pollen, it's the problem up here. But remember, in Chinese medicine, the lungs and the respiratory system, they're connected to the colon and the gut. So a lot of illnesses start in the gut, and that's what the old naturopaths say, and it really is the truth. And they will conquer to that with her colon therapy. But that's what happens in the gut. Remember, 60 to 70% of the immune system is around the digestive tract. So if we eat foods that have toxins in them and they were allergic to, it creates inflammation in the gut. It's the cells, instead of being tight and being protective and not letting the bacteria in and not letting the molecules of the, let's say, gluten or dairy protein in, they swell up and the tight junction open up, and it lets these foods in, and what the immune system does, it's like, ooh, bad guys, right? And it starts creating antibodies and attacking them. And what happens in with the antibodies and this inflamed immune system, there's all this blood circulation that goes everywhere. So I don't know if anybody of you ever had allergies like that or really paid attention. Are they worse after you eat? A lot of times people get their allergies worse after they eat, not just exposed to, you know, pollens and all that. It's a combination of that. And the other part of that, so there's the gut, and then there's the adrenal glands. Very often depleted adrenal glands, which are the stress glands, they're responsible for, you know, us having lots of energy, for the epinephrine, norepinephrine, the cortisol production, which cortisol is the modulator of inflammation. You're going to see a lot that inflammatory conditions and autoimmune conditions, high doses of cortisol are being given to shut down the immune system. However, low dose of cortisol, which is what our body, you know, creates and produces every day, helps. There's a fine line. Like, we need the cortisol to create inflammation, because inflammation to begin with is a good thing. Remember that cut, the inflammation, that's how the body knows it needs to go there and to heal it. When it becomes chronic, so we're constantly triggering our gut, constantly eating dairy when we're allergic to, let's say, I'm waiting there, beep beep. When, let's say, children, okay, so they get projectile vomiting with dairy, or they get lots of diarrhea with dairy, or they get rashes with dairy. Beep beep. I'm gonna keep going. It's actually definitely an allergy to dairy. That's allergy to dairy. And for the most part, you know, we take a little break. The mom says, okay, I'll give them soy formula, which is not much better because soy is highly allergenic too. And then after, you know, age 2 or 5, they add the dairy again. But very often the allergy doesn't go away. It just doesn't manifest as strongly, and there's still this little irritation. And kids get ear infections. They get sick more often because of the dairy, right? So it's the part of the connection of the gut with the allergies, and then it depletes the adrenal glands, and the more the adrenal glands are depleted, the more prone we're to allergies. So supporting the adrenal glands, I left there some herbs. They're called the adaptogens. Licorice is a really good one, like a real herb licorice, not the candy licorice. Holy basil, rhodiola, and ashwagandha. You have them all in your handouts. Those 4 are really awesome. And then I really like this company. You can get it anywhere in a health food store. It's called Allergies. And they have the combination of the homeopathic remedies they have in there are really good. So you can get one for animals, you can get some, you know, they have for pollen, they have for mold and yeast and dust, but they have adrenalinum in there, which is a homeopathic remedy for the adrenal glands that really helps to wake up the adrenal glands, on top of having some other remedies in there to help with the allergies. So that's a good one for allergies. And then remember, if you really help to heal your allergies, you support your adrenal glands, and for a period of time, you either do some major cleansing and get, you know, give the body a break from these foods like the dairy, the gluten, the corn, the soy, those main allergenic foods. They cause a lot of inflammation. And when you do that, you might as well do something to help the body to cleanse at the same time, to get rid of the toxins and to calm down the inflammation. You're going to see your allergies are going to be so much better. So the part now, which is a great transition, is what happens with autoimmunity. You all know about autoimmunity and what happens, right? Autoimmunity is, allergies is when the body is responding to a substance that's, you know, outside that normally wouldn't respond to. And autoimmunity is when the immune system is responding to its own tissue that normally it wouldn't respond to. So what happens there? For the most part, you're going to, when you look at whether it's rheumatoid arthritis, whether it's Hashimoto's, whether it's lupus, Crohn's disease, anything, you're going to see that the research and the medical books, we don't know what happens. You know, we speculate, this is what happens, this is maybe for women, certain age, but we don't really know what happens there. So that leaves the door wide open, is why would the body go, this smart, amazing immune system that we have been given from, you know, I actually do not know when the immune system develops in utero, but it is fairly early on. But from day one, when we're born, we're being protected. You know, yes, there are antibodies in the mom's milk, but still we're being protected. Even children that get breastfed are being protected. Why would this powerful system turn on itself and start attacking our thyroid? What do you think? Anybody has any thoughts? One sentence?
Sending a different signal, overload.
Something sending a different signal. Overload. Something else to combat it. Okay. And I'll really just kind of leave you sort of hanging with that. And I think that would be a great place to start with meditation, because there are two aspects to that. One is the physical. Okay, and so I'll go to both of them. One is the physical and has to do with diet. And there's, again, a lot of research, which you're not going to hear by traditional medical doctors, that one of the biggest pieces in autoimmune illnesses, absolutely we know Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, but even Hashimoto's, they're finding 95% people with Hashimoto's have gluten sensitivity. Over 95%, 90 to 95% people with any autoimmune illness will have gluten sensitivity. And that's what happens in the gut. You know, the antibodies are produced against gluten, and then they travel and they start attacking another organ, like the thyroid, or the brain, or the pancreas, or the liver, the gallbladder, really the muscles. So that's one part, again, is diet. And the big piece about gluten is, remember, our wheat, especially here in the United States, has been genetically modified, so really changed from its natural state, so that's a big piece of it too. So that's one piece. Then the other piece is, from the physical standpoint, in order for the body to go and attack, let's say, a thyroid cell, right, it has to perceive it as something different than thyroid cell. Why would it do that? Very often what can happen is when we have all these toxins, you know, and thyroid is very sensitive, and the radiation, it actually, the body is not able to eliminate them, they get stuck in the cells. We have cellular toxicity. And again, it's a lecture of itself, but it changes here's what I really believe, it changes the structure of the cell, where it doesn't look like the thyroid cell anymore. And let's say it can, instead of looking like the thyroid cell, you know, it will have a little spike over here, or have a little spike over here. And remember what the immune system does. It's like, ooh, it's a bad guy. Let me go attack it, antibody, right? So we'll talk next time a lot about Hashimoto's and thyroid and, you know, the endocrine system overall. But what's important here is, so big piece is, yeah, take a break on the gluten, right? But then start detoxifying the body and get rid of the toxins so the thyroid cell can be healthy again, so the body doesn't have to produce the antibodies. I have had so many women with Hashimoto's on hormone for the rest of their lives. They're off of their hormones, and their antibodies are not present anymore. So again, we'll talk about it more, but it's a big piece. And then if you take it from the physical level to the energetic level, what is happening inside that, you know, we would go attack ourselves? So for a lot of times, if we really are honest with ourselves, there's so much judgment, so much, ooh, I'm not good enough, ooh, oh, let me be myself, oh, I didn't do this good enough, oh my gosh, I should have said that today instead of that, and I didn't answer that question right, and oh my gosh, right? There's a lot of attacking that's happening energetically. And especially for women who, you know, thyroid, you're going to find thyroid disease very much for women, like the fifth chakra, the speaking. Women tend to not speak as much as to not harm somebody, or as to not create chaos, or, you know, not, I better don't say the truth because they won't like me and I'll be abandoned. So that's the energetic part to that. Okay, so with that said, I would like to take a few minutes and do a little meditation as to our immune system, and if there's some truth to it, that our immune system is such a powerful protector. It really is meant to protect us, and it goes after every bacteria. It really listens to us too, because if I can have a patient who says, I'm not going to get sick anymore because my kids are sick, and they're not going to get sick, there's some power to it. So there has to be power in ooh, I'm not good enough. The immune system maybe listens to that too. So let's turn that around and just take a moment. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just kind of let all the information settle in, everything that you have heard. If you don't remember, it will come back, so don't worry about it. Just focus on your breath. Get connected to your natural breathing rhythm. And the immune system really is everywhere in your body. The immune system cells are everywhere right now in this very moment. They're traveling through your body and they're making sure everything is okay. So just connect to that. See this flow of energy and immune system going through your whole body. Like this army of smiling soldiers just doing their work. And saying, yeah, I got you. I'm protecting you. Don't worry. I just need some help here and there for you to maybe eat a little bit healthier and sleep a little bit more and be nicer to yourself. So see these cells traveling all over your body. And what I would like you to do, just right here, right now, the way you are, who you are, how you look, what you have said today to somebody, what you should have said, all the things that you feel like you should have done. Why don't you kind of put it all in a bubble in front of you, all the judgments that are present in your field right now. Put them in a bubble in front of you with a magnet and just put them aside for a little bit. They're really all just lies, they're not truth. So put it aside, let the magnet pull it out and just focus on the truth. See those beautiful cells inside you. So there's 50 trillion cells all together. And many, many, many of them are your immune system cells taking care of you. So what I'd like you to do is turn it around and send yourself some love and compassion and gratitude. And what a perfect sneeze. You know, the immune system saying, hey, I'm here. I got you. Coughing, sneezing, remember all the symptoms are immune system trying to protect you. So send it some gratitude and love instead of all the judgment for just now. Remember all that we talked about and how perfect our body is and how really is here for us to do, to help us to accomplish what we came here to accomplish. So see these smiling cells of your immune system everywhere, just totally receiving your gratitude. Just like, basking in your gratitude. I'm feeling stronger for it. It's like, hey, I'm strong. I'm strong and I'll protect you. And thank you for your love. I received that. And then take a couple deep breaths. Just feel your body. Stay in your body as you come back. And open your eyes. And I want you to remember this. You know, I haven't tried it yet because I haven't really gotten acutely sick, but I'll do it if I ever get the flu or something. It's really, remember reconnecting to the immune system. And remember that it's really that when you put attention on part of your body, when you send it energy, sends it blood flow, it sends it the energy, the love, I guarantee you, okay, well, I don't know, I'll have to try for myself, but I would think that you will get healthier faster. So I'll have you try it and get back to me and let me know. Okay, awesome. So I'll conclude the presentation with that, and thank you.